Welcome to UBC Small Business. We're here at Baruch College for the 10th Annual World Trade Week International Awards Breakfast. It is hosted by the New York District Exports Council, and it is also presented by Cone Resnick. We have so much for you, so what you're going to do, you're going to keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dixon. Next up is Cindy Duncan, U.S. Counsel for International Business, to present the World Trade Week New York City Next Generation Scholarships.
Thank you, everybody. I have the honor to bring to you a couple of stellar students who represent FIT and Baruch. As someone said, last year we started a scholarship program, so it was the inaugural year. This is year number 2, so we have 2 bright new minds to join, to add to the skill set for the international business and international trade industry that's so vital to New York. So without further ado, let me ask Vitalis to join me. We have Vitalis Nujanem, who is with Baruch. He is here to receive his award. Here we go. Come on up. There you are. It's a little loose, so be careful. Yeah. That's. Thank you. Here, this is yours. And our second awardee is Kelsey Antonino, who is with the Fashion Institute of New York. Come on up and get your, I just got that wrong. FIT, I should rephrase what I just said. Come on up. There you are. Yeah. There you are. Congratulations to you both. Best of luck as you graduate and you move on into the industry. Lots of folks for you to talk to here.
Thank you, and congratulations. Maybe you can come up here and do this next year. It's now time for the main awards portion of the program. All right, we're going to switch just a little bit, and I'm going to ask Chuck Ludmer to present the International Trade Award first.
Hello again. The International Trade Award. The International Trade Award is presented to a company whose growth and achievements in their industry exemplify international success. With tourism as our theme for this year, we wanted to recognize one of New York City's internationally acclaimed establishments, which embodies original American cuisine, attracting clientele from New York City and around the globe. Gotham Bar and Grill is this year's recipient. In 1985, Chef Alfred Portali, a culinary creator, innovator, and architect, took the reins of a young Greenwich Village restaurant. His idea was to bring fine dining downtown. Portali wanted to create a restaurant that emulated the standards of a 3-star Michelin restaurant from his time in France with world-class chefs. At Gotham, Portali developed a seasonal menu with relaxed elegance, prime product, and bold flavors. Portali's dedication to sourcing quality ingredients from small farms and specialty purveyors placed him among those chefs who were identified as leaders of the movement known today as New American Cuisine. This movement marked a return to simple pleasures of quality ingredients fused with French technique and international influence. It is now my pleasure to present the 2014 International Trade Award to Brett Census, Managing Partner of Gotham Bar and Grill. Brett? Brett was educated in journalism, immigrated from Florida to New York City. Determined to produce, Brett had an eclectic background that is rooted in a single desire to make things happen. From live theater to television production, Brett found his way to the world of fine dining and hospitality. For the past 7 years, Brett has ensured that Gotham lives up to its legacy while continuing to push boundaries and elevate itself among New York's best and most beloved restaurants. In addition to his work keeping Gotham growing strong, Brett has demonstrated his commitment to New York and the food movement with his work in Grow New York City, NYC. Gotham Bar and Grill is a prime destination serving New Yorkers and tourists from around the globe. Congratulations, Brett. Great. It's all yours.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck. And thank you to Baruch for this event and for CohnReznick for sponsoring it. And I want to shout out to Fred Dixon. Thank you so much for all the work you do at NYC and Company. You know, when Chuck asked me if I'd be willing to accept this award and this recognition, I was pleasantly surprised, and I must say I am accepting this on behalf of our chef, Alfred Portale, as well. And thrilled to accept it. Thank you, Chuck. It was then after I said I would do it that he did mention it was a breakfast award meeting, which in my line of work can be a little challenging, but worthwhile. Thank you so much. At Gotham, you know, I get to see the international nature of New York City from the ground level. As you tour the dining room, you hear the various languages being spoken, and you get to see the vitality of this great city. And with a staggering number like 54 or 56 million visitors last year, it's amazing to think what that does for New York City. We also get to see the influence of the international trade with our menu. As Chuck pointed out, our chef is trained in France, but he uses the American palate and the influences of immigration and various ethnicities on the menu. So, for instance, we have, in the 1987, he put tuna tartare on the menu, which today sounds like, well, there's tuna tartare on every menu, but at the time it was relatively groundbreaking for an American restaurant to be serving raw tuna. And in fact, he was only able to do that because he found a small company that was importing high-grade sushi tuna that was serving the Japanese clientele that was coming to New York in their sushi restaurants. And in order to get the fish to Gotham, he would literally go to the fishery, for lack of a better word, and pick up the tuna and drive it back in a cab. And so now we're seeing huge influx of great product. Right now we have probably the best farmed salmon in the world is coming out of New Zealand. And I think that they're setting a standard that we can all emulate with their practices and their sustainable nature. So we are indebted to trade in many small ways, but we're certainly indebted to the tourists. So thank you all very much. It's a pleasure to be here in a room with such illustrious people.
Now I'd like to ask Bella Ewell, the Executive VP of the World Trade Centers Association, who will present the Small Business Global Trade Award.
Good morning, internationalists. The Small Business Global Trade Award is presented to a small company in the New York region whose growth and achievements in their industry exemplify international success. The individual selected for this year's award has built a company around, quote, everything needed to celebrate. And today we celebrate you, Wendy Shen, CEO of Nigala Corp and Flomo. Flomo, which is owned and operated by Nigala, is a major national brand of gift bags, party supplies, ribbons, stationery, and holiday merchandise. Nigala Corp takes pride in its commitment to develop, design, manufacture, import, and supply a wide selection of everyday and seasonal products. As I share with you the achievements of this unique business person, I'd like to invite her to join me on stage at this time so that the spotlight and your attention is on her rather than on me. Ladies and gentlemen, Wendy Shen. Come on up, Wendy. Born in Taiwan, Wendy started her business in the late 80s while working on her MBA at Pace University. When she started out, Wendy told me that her single biggest challenge was earning credibility as a foreign female who owned a small company. Through persistence and resiliency, Wendy grew her business from a 10-foot bookcase on which she displayed her products to a 20,000 square foot showroom and highly efficient 200,000 square foot distribution center in New Jersey, which displays and moves more than 8,000 unique items. About 85% of Flomo's products are sourced abroad, and although only 5% of Wendy's total sales are exports, she's determined to grow them by an additional 30%, we have a lot of work to do, support her, and expand beyond her current markets of Central and South America. Wendy's biggest challenge has shifted. Today, it's the ability to compete given the rising costs of sourcing product in China. She's strategically looking into the U.S. and Europe as alternative sources. Personally, Wendy, I think you've got a new challenge cut out for you, because this is only one of many awards that you've already received. You're going to have to find more space for that. That 200,000 distribution center might be the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating the international success of Wendy Shen and her company. Say a few words?
Yeah.
I'll hold this for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Terrence. First of all, I want to thank everybody. Everybody a true leader here, so I'm a very small business. But thank you, and it's an honor and so grateful to be here. First of all, I want to thank you to President of Manhattan Chamber of Commerce, Nancy Flager, and she nominated me. So thank you so much. And I see some IWEC friends over here. Thank you so much for coming to support me. Flomo is everything you need to celebrate. We have party stationery, holiday merchandise, and with this award, definitely will give us a lot of recognition. And to my team, my family, and I thank you everybody, everyday supports and help. And definitely we'll grow the company more internationally and bring fun and party celebration to all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to ask Lucy Ambrosino, Manager for Outreach, the New Jersey Port Authority.
It gives me great pleasure to present the first Global Logistics Award today. You've certainly heard it said at this breakfast and at other meetings that without transportation, trade can't take place. Goods don't just magically appear on store shelves, whether in the U.S. or anywhere in the world. Since 95% of international goods movement is by water, chances are that merchandise hit a container terminal. I'd like to ask Dave Brady of Global, please, to join me. Hi, Dave. Global Container Terminal Bayonne is the first brownfield container terminal in the Western Hemisphere to convert to semi-automation. It is also the first terminal in North America to implement the Navis N4, a computer system for handling operations at the terminal. In fact, Global received international recognition from Port Technology International as a winner in the innovation category of the Navis Inspire Awards earlier this year. Among other things, the terminal installed automated rail-mounted gantry cranes, and if you're in my industry, that's known as an RMG, to complement the traditional rubber tire gantries, or RTGs, on terminal. The interoperability of these two diverse technologies has never been done before and transformed an antiquated rubber tire gantry terminal into a state-of-the-art rail-mounted gantry facility. It remains the only facility worldwide to implement both on the same overall footprint, making it the most advanced facility on the continent. For their dedication to improve services to their customers through innovation, we present them with the World Trade Week 2015 and FIRST Global Logistics Award.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, everyone. It's my pleasure to accept this award on behalf of GCT Bayonne. As Lucy alluded to, we've had a very interesting past couple of years and have accomplished quite a bit. Now we're working over the next several months to implement further changes to provide stability and work on some of the congestion issues you may have heard about associated with port operations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Brian Wills, who's on the board of the Freight Forwarders Association, and Brian's going to present the Global Trade Award.
Good morning, everyone. It is with great pleasure for me to introduce and award our Global Trade Award. The Global Trade Award is presented to an organization that has demonstrated continuous dedication, commitment, and significant contributions which have influenced the growth of trade in the New York region. This company is the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Not only do they facilitate trade and are a key component of supply chain management, they also keep our borders secure and safe for our families, friends, and our country. On that note, I would like to present our award to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Mr. Del Fasano.
In lieu of an award, we're going to give a cell phone. Here.
Let's see it.
There we go.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
I'm very honored to accept this award on behalf of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. My name is Adele Fasano, and I am the Port Director for the Port of New York, Newark. Many of my counterparts are here today, and they are very as responsible as I am for supporting the trade industry. It's an unusual day for a federal agency to receive awards such as this, but I think it's truly a symbol of the tremendous partnerships that we enjoy in this region. The individual elements of the trade community have been very open-minded and willing to work with us to try to maintain not only national security but economic security of the region, and to also meet our goal of being a part of economic prosperity in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Joe Schoonmaker, the head of the U.S. District Export Council.
Thank you very much, Terry, and thanks to Baruch. It's my honor to have a very special award today, one that we give out from time to time, presented to an individual whose lifetime accomplishments in international trade have contributed to the global prosperity and educational achievement. This award goes to Rick Larrabee, who is Director of the Port Commerce Department of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. He oversees the management and operation of 6 marine terminal facilities within the Port of New York and New Jersey, the largest port on the east coast of North America, which handles 74 million tons of cargo and approximately 5.77 million TEUs, 20-foot equivalent units for some of you. Mr. Larrabee has served as director through several catastrophic events: the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center, Hurricane Irene, and Superstorm Sandy. Through his leadership, the port was able to operate within days of these terrible events. Despite these setbacks, he continued to successfully manage multi-billion-dollar port redevelopment programs that includes reinvestment in marine terminal facilities, deepening harbor channels and berths, improving intermodal connections, and protecting sensitive marine environments. Very important. The redevelopment program is positioning the Port of New York and New Jersey to accommodate future growth and is projected to double over the next decade and could quadruple by 2040. Most recently, he co-chaired an aggressive port performance task force that resulted in 24 recommendations for the port community to institute, assure resiliency, and enhance port productivity, many of which are already being implemented. Prior to joining the Port Authority, Rick Larrabee held the rank of Rear Admiral in the United States Coast Guard. He served as Commander, 1st Coast Guard District in Boston, Massachusetts, where he oversaw all Coast Guard operations in the Northeast United States. Rick, if you would come up, please. For his dedication and commitment to improving the flow of international freight and enhancing trade in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area, we present him with the International Achievement Award. Hopefully, I got the right one. And I got paperwork here. Pleasure. Thanks. Thank you.
Joe, thank you. I'm very honored to receive this award. I, too, have some colleagues here today, and I want to thank them for all of the work that they've done during my tenure at the Port Authority. Lucy said it best. You can't have trade without transportation, and that's a theme that we've tried to introduce to this group. The committee has taken that on, and as we've seen over the last couple of years, folks like Global and Customs and Border Protection have been honored. Trade is a significant part of this region. We create in our port somewhere near 300,000 jobs and about $40 billion worth of economic value to the region, and it's growing. Despite the fact that we've had some congestion issues, as Dave alluded to, the community is working hard together. We are collaborating as we've never collaborated before in what is normally a very competitive environment, and I'm very happy to see the results that we've achieved over the last year. There's more to come. I think trade for us in this region is going to be a bigger part of our economy in the future, and I'm very pleased to have a small part of that. So thank you for the award, and congratulations to all the recipients. Thanks.
Rick, I wouldn't agree with you when you say you had a small part in it. And, you know, I've got this mental image of you personally holding up and raising the Bayonne Bridge so that the super ships can get underneath it, right? I don't know of anyone who has worked harder, tirelessly, to see to it that we have the facilities we need to maintain a competitive edge here in New York City, Port of New York. I never thought, one of the reasons my center got involved in this project, I've never thought that trade and the impact of trade for this city, for this region, ever got the attention it deserved and demanded, and I'm pleased to see that that is changing. And the reasons it's changing, Rick, is because people like you have made it clear with a can-do attitude that we can compete and we can succeed. So personally, thank you very, very much. It is now my pleasure to introduce Kenneth Hyatt, Deputy Undersecretary, International Trade Administration, U.S. Department of Commerce, who will introduce the U.S. Department of Commerce Export Awards. Sir.
Need to make certain I have my glasses because I can no longer read without glasses. Thanks for the introduction. I'm delighted to be here. Thanks, Fred, for your kind comments. Thank the sponsors of the event. And thanks to all you companies who are supporting trade. It's inspiring to be at an event like this and see both young folks who I sort of view as the next generation here, but all these great companies adding value. And I think I think what you just said about this recognition of how important trade is to this community, to this city, but to the country more broadly. This is, as you know, Trade Week. It's also Trade Month. And you can imagine if I'm at the International Trade Administration, that's a pretty important week and month to me. But I think it's also an extraordinarily important week and month for this country. What's going on now in the trade world, I think, is historic. And I want to just speak about that just for a second. I assume, since you're all trade experts, that you are thinking about tracking that the Senate and House are considering trade promotion legislation as we speak, right? Last week, this week, next week. And I think this particular trade promotion legislation has the opportunity to be historic. For the first time, the legislation will insist that our trading partners meet high labor and environmental standards or face trade sanctions. For the first time, the trade promotion legislation will update trade laws to reflect the current state of the digital economy. Consider that the last time there was trade promotion legislation, Twitter and Facebook hadn't even been founded. For the first time, this legislation will offer every single American, and of course any other interested stakeholders, the opportunity to read and analyze any trade deal for 60 days before it's signed by the president. It's unprecedented transparency. Now, while the trade promotion legislation is being considered, we're also in the midst of negotiating two historic trade agreements. One to our west, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, one to our east, the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. And these two deals, if negotiated and improved, will put the U.S. at the center of essentially 2/3 of the world's GDP. And these are big, big trade deals, which again, from our perspective, have the opportunity to open markets, west and east, which for us then translates to American companies exporting, American companies creating jobs. I think our export performance has been good. If you look at 2014, record exports, over $2.3 billion. Record exports to 52 different countries. Record number of jobs supported by exports. 11.7 million American jobs supported by exports. But I think we at Commerce, we in the government, I think this community think we can do even more. If you look at a macro level, 13.5% of our GDP is driven by exports. You compare that to Canada at 30%. You compare it to Germany at almost 50%. So there's a macro opportunity. At a micro level, and it's always exciting for me to meet the companies that are doing this. Too few American companies export, and of those that do, more than 50% export to only one country. So we sit here now with this mission, that's the International Trade Administration. How do we help more companies export? How do we help more companies who do export to more places? I think many of you know us, but I'm a former private sector person, was in the private sector for almost 30 years, started small businesses and had never actually heard of the Commercial Service, had never actually heard of the International Trade Administration. I realize now I probably would have done better were I to have done that. Maybe I wouldn't be in government at this point. But we, working with partners here, the District Export Council, we have 100 offices around the country, we are in 70 countries around the world, and the essence of what we do, the Commercial Service, I think of us as the epicenter of exports. We help companies think about whether to export, into which countries to export, if they're thinking about going into these countries, how they protect their intellectual capital, how they find a partner that they can trust. So we are excited about the opportunities to continue to help companies. People have talked about the extraordinary trade performance in this area. I also want to talk about investment for at least a moment. As you probably know, and I don't know if you read all the magazines I read, but attracting foreign investment is critical to driving, again, jobs, companies from other parts of the world who come and build factories, who increase the size of factories, again, create American jobs. Just in the last week or two, this area was, the New York area was identified by Foreign Direct Investment magazine as the most attractive area in the U.S. for investment. And we at Commerce have been working, we created an organization called Select USA to market the United States as the most attractive destination worldwide, but also then help companies who might want to invest here navigate Washington. And we will continue to work the investment side of this. Let me say a word about the VETS program, which is exciting to me. And then we'll present a few awards. Let me talk about VETS Go Global, which is an initiative that we started. Our ITA team, our commercial service team, is assisting veteran-owned businesses tap into new global markets, recognizing the talents and specific skill sets of veterans. It was founded by a number of people here, and let me just recognize them. Murat Muftari, Ashish Vaid, and Brian Beams founded this initiative a year ago to, again, support veteran-owned businesses to reach their maximum export potential. Following my remarks, Representative Zeldin from New York will be presenting an Export Achievement Award to Ennoconn, a veteran-owned business that has worked with our VETS Go Global team. Let me now present a few export awards from the Department of Commerce. First, to Elaine Kellogg from Grayline, and come on up here while I... Get this. For Grayline New York's outstanding achievements in the international tourism markets. Since 1926, nice, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Since 1926, Grayline New York is the most popular sightseeing source for double-decker bus tours and tickets to all major attractions and activities in New York. Tours are narrated in 11 pre-recorded languages. The company has been working with us for 23 years to expand its reach globally, most recently to Seoul, South Korea. So Elaine, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Let me give you this.
Over here.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank
you. Want to say anything?
Yes,
Yeah,
if I could for just
Absolutely.
a moment. It's an honor to be accepting this award today on behalf of Mark Marmestein, the president of Grayline New York, and all of our employees here in New York City. As it was said, we've been operating here since 1926, and we are locally owned and operated. Last year, we were fortunate enough on our local sightseeing tours to entertain over 1.2 million visitors to New York City, and probably a few locals in there as well. Much of our success is attributed in the international markets to the U.S. commercial service around the world. The amount of information, the introductions have been so helpful to us over the years in establishing Grayline around the world. We would especially like to thank, here in New York, Dr. Anastasia Zenius, who is our appointment maker, introducer, follow-upper for the offices around the world. It is a pleasure to work with her, and we appreciate all her help in what she has done. And we would like to acknowledge another U.S. Commercial Service officer, and that is Usara Haddad. Usara is in Brazil, and I've been working with Usara for over 20 years. We have gone through the ups and downs of the Brazilian outbound tourism market, and she has just been such a valuable resource and has become a good friend over the years. So thank you very much, U.S. Commercial Service. This award will hang in honor in our office. Thank you very much.
Our second certificate will be presented to Christine Pomerantz. And Christine, if you might come up. Yeah, come on up. For the Fashion Institute of Technology's continued expertise. Congratulations. Continued expertise, commitment, and dedication to trade education by the Department or through the Department of International Trade and Marketing. Christine is the chair of the Fashion Institute of Technology's Department of International Trade and Marketing. Under her leadership, ITM's mission is to prepare students for management positions in the international trade and global fashion company, in international trade and global fashion companies. ITM invited Anastasia, who gets another shout out. You should just stand up and we can sort of clap here. Yeah. To join its advisory board and executive committee to explore how its curriculum could incorporate exporting techniques and opportunities. As a result, ITM created the course Export Promotion Marketing. These efforts have supported U.S. export development by fostering a greater awareness of exporting and the importance of trade. I'd like to note also that Christine is a member of the DEC,
Yes.
right? The New York DEC, and a partner of World Trade Week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. I'll hold that. unless you-
Yes.
Great. Okay, great.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. There are a lot of parties to thank here. Let's start with the U.S. Export Assistance Center that is headed by Carmela Mamas. There are many of you that have helped us throughout the years, my colleagues at the New York District Export Council, and the international trade and marketing community made up of the faculty, students, alumni, industry, and our advisory board. And so we've done a lot of things with the USIAC. Maybe over a dozen events together, stopfakes.gov, in partnership with Customs and Border Protection, the U.S. Trade Representative's Office. We've sent interns. Our own next generation scholar wants to intern with you guys. And also we have one person here that embodies all of the FIT community, and Amanda Barlow, if you can stand. Amanda was my student, became the alumni, trained industry on exports, became a faculty member of our little department, and is also now an advisory board member. She was the author of the Export Promotion Marketing class, which is now, I guess, graduated 130 people and growing, because it's being offered both face-to-face and online. And just to give you a little story of what our students or graduates can do is, one of our graduates, she formed Better Closets, which is an e-commerce company that exported to 12 countries. It was doing so well that a venture capitalist bought it and thought they could quadruple, the number of exports. And in addition to that, she said, okay, I've done one business, let me do another. So she invented, I guess, Better Popcorn, which is flavored popcorn, and exported it to New Zealand, Australia, and Europe. And that was, again, bought by another venture capitalist. So we're hoping to see, her next venture, but she's only one of the many examples that we have. And we see this as a start of something very big. We hope to partner with you industry in growing this. Together, we can really grow exports exponentially. Thank you.
I'd like now to introduce Representative Lee Zeldin from New York's 1st District, who will be presenting the Export Achievement Award to Ennoconn. Representative Zeldin earned his bachelor's degree from the State University of New York at Albany, then his law degree from Albany Law School, becoming New York's youngest attorney at 23, is what I understand. He spent 4 years in active duty and deployed to Iraq in 2006 while assigned to the U.S. Army's 82nd Airborne Division, and thank you for your service. And to any veterans here, let me thank you in particular for that service. Congressman Zeldin was elected to the New York State Senate in 2010, and 4 years later, in 2014, was elected to the U.S. Congress. currently serves on 3 U.S. House committees: Transportation, Infrastructure, Foreign Affairs, and Veterans Affairs. It's my honor to turn the podium over to you, Congressman.
Well, good morning. It's great to be with you, experiencing World Trade Week New York City style. Tonight I go down to D.C. to experience World Trade Week U.S. Capitol style. There's a lot going on, as you all know, right now with regards to the issue of trade in our nation's capital, and has ended up with some very unique lines being drawn between political parties and the president and Congress. It's a first for me to experience these battle lines as the effort is made to get some TPA legislation over the finish line to enact 2 very big trade deals that are being worked on currently. It's great to be here for the 10th International Trade Awards breakfast. And it's especially great for me to be here to recognize Ennoconn, which is based in Medford, in my congressional district, the 1st Congressional District of New York. Now, the CEO of Ennoconn is a gentleman by the name of Ed Krenzel. Ed is a Korean War veteran. And Ed met Murat, and Murat was actually in Iraq a year before I was there, in Tikrit. He's an international trade specialist. And when Murat realized what Ennoconn was doing through the Vets Go Global initiative, has helped Ennoconn expand their reach. They're now into 65 countries around the world. They just closed a deal with Taiwan. And I know that both Ennoconn is proud of that work, as well as Murat. And thank you for your service as a Special Forces operative. Is that correct? Yes. Oh, pretty cool. I was just a JAG officer, just Special Forces operative. That's kind of cool. Thank you for your service, Murat. And so there's an advantage with regards to trade that I'm experiencing that a lot of people in our communities don't understand. And there's a need for an education that we really need your help with. I understand that there are other people here from Long Island, specifically from the East End of Long Island. And I have had a lot of conversations that were firsts with people really not understanding what the benefit is. When people hear trade, there are folks out there who say that trade means outsourcing our jobs overseas and losing an economic benefit at home. They don't realize that for an American company to want to grow, to expand with all these opportunities all around the world, you need to be able to break down barriers in order to make it happen, to create more jobs here, to improve the economy here at home. So I get to present an award and call up Andy Janczak from Ennoconn, who is here representing his great company, and to say congratulations for a very well-deserved award, and also to say good luck, as I know you continue to try to reach into several new countries as well with Murat's help.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, thank you all, and thank you very much, Congressman Zeldin. I feel pretty loose today. I think I owe that to the relaxing steam room-like atmosphere we've been able to enjoy this morning. I live in Pennsylvania now, but I actually grew up on Long Island in Pete King's district. We moved the business out to Medford, and Pete was upset, but we're all very happy that you won that out there, and we're proud to have someone with your distinguished background representing us out there. So thank you very much again. I'm here representing our chairman and CEO, Ed Krenzel. As Congressman Zeldin referenced, he is a Korean War veteran. He's very involved with his VFW post in Doylestown in Pennsylvania. That's why he couldn't be here today. He's actually hosting an event for the VFW down there where he's presenting some awards to some key corporate contributors and just couldn't get out of it. But I'm honored to be here representing him today because he's always maintained that things that he learned and had instilled in him in his time in the military he's been able to apply through all different aspects of his life, including building this business. And I know that I've been personally inspired by it, and our company is certainly a better company for it. Sometimes I think we get the impression that there's an adversarial relationship at times between business and government, and I think you referenced that, Congressman, a little bit. But I can tell you that our relationship with the Department of Commerce over the years shows that that is certainly not always the case. We've had a very positive relationship going back to the 1990s when we first started advertising in the Commercial News USA and looking to build our business around the world. As you referenced, we're now operating in more than 60 countries around the world, and recent success we've had working with the Long Island Export Assistance Center and Murat Muftari, who we weren't sure we wanted to go with the Global Partnership Program or how that worked, but they sent Murat, who's a pretty burly ex-Green Beret, and he said, "You will work with us," and we said, "Okay." And so we started up with him. It's been a very positive experience. You referenced we just signed a distributor in Taiwan who looks like a great fit for our organization. It's already resulted in hundreds of thousands of dollars in export business for us, and so it's been great. We're currently working now in Europe, in the Czech Republic, in the Netherlands, in Japan, all through this global partnership in the VETSCO Global Program. And it's been a very, very positive experience for us. So on behalf of myself, on behalf of Ennoconn Corporation, our chairman, Ed Krenzel, who is a vet who has indeed gone global, we appreciate this very much. Thank you all. Thank you to the organizers and sponsors of the event. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Camilla Mamas and Kindra Yunus. We have some graduates of Export Tech.
Export Tech. Thanks, Dr. Martel, for the introduction. And thank you to the Weissman Center at Baruch College, one of our strategic partners, for hosting the event today. It's really wonderful to be here to celebrate with all the awardee winners, and as well as, I especially, want to send out a shout out to the FIT award. I'm a graduate of FIT, so I was really, pleased that they received an award today, long in coming. As our Deputy Undersecretary for International Trade, Ken Hyatt, mentioned earlier, the most vital role of U.S. commercial service is our network to connect U.S. companies to resources overseas. The Export Tech program is one very effective way we succeed in this endeavor. This program is jointly offered by NIST Manufacturing Extension Partnership and our U.S. Export Assistance Centers across the country. It applies a structured export strategy development process that assists 4 to 8 companies to accelerate growth. It is the only national program where each company develops a written export plan that is vetted by a panel of experts upon completion. The result is that companies rapidly expand global sales and save countless hours of effort. This past week, we completed 2 export programs with a total of 12 participating companies in New York City and Long Island. These 2 programs were jointly organized by my office, the New York U.S. Export Assistance Center, the Harlem U.S. Export Assistance Center, and the Long Island U.S. Export Assistance Center, along with the Manufacturing Extension Partnership Centers, ITAC in New York City and LIFT in Long Island. I would now like to welcome Kindra Yunus, Executive Director of ITAC, and Susan Sudoka, Director of the Long Island U.S. Export Assistance Center, to the stage now for the presentation of the export certificates. Export graduates, as I call your name, please proceed to the stage to receive your certificates. Oh, and please, Mr. Undersecretary, please join us. I ask everyone to hold your applause until every name has been read. Okay. Okay, so let's take these. Okay, we have a lot of graduates. So why don't you come on this side? Come on this side. Do you want to wait here for now? Okay. Okay, from the New York program, Josh Gordon of Nios Group. Again, I appreciate you holding your applause. Lou Camarena of Lumesh. Marion Bacata and Maya Brown of Black Opal. Sarah Franco, Jim Edelson, and Rashana Sender of Zanderm. Patricia Reinders and Wynn Reinders of Sula, NYC. Julie Weingarten of Steuben Foods. Should we take a picture now of the New York group, or should we keep going?
Now.
Okay, we still have to read the Long Island program, but why don't we take a picture of the group? The stage is getting a little bit full, so we might want to do a photo op right now of the the New York City group.
More? We're good? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe two.
Good. One more. Cool.
Great. Okay, I think that's great. So why don't congratulations to our graduates. We're very, very proud of them, and we look forward to working with them with their export expansion efforts. Okay, now we're going to present the certificates from the Long Island program. Michelle, and there's more graduates, not everyone's here. Michelle Gillette Kelly of Miss Urban Gourmet. Oh, I'm sorry. Michelle Gillette Kelly of Miss Michelle's Urban Gourmet. Oh, Congressman, do you want to join us as well for the photo? Franco DeLisa and Gio DeLisa of Cozy Cocoon. And Gelvin Stevenson of Agri Power. Great. Please, again, thank me in congratulating our graduates from Long Island. Oh, sorry. Oh, I missed one.
We're good? Good.
2 minutes late.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Martel.
Now Lucy Ambrosino is going to come to the stage and do a World Trade New York City 10-year celebration.
And so, 10 years, we've come a long way. One of the early World Trade Award breakfasts was so, let's say, sparsely attended. We had all our exhibits in the back. We sort of stole bodies to fill the room. And for several years now, we've had a sellout. And so in celebration, I would like to ask this year's awardees, past awardees, please, our co-chairs and the steering committee to please come up to the podium to celebrate with our cake. So come on. This year's awardees, past awardees.
And anybody who wants a piece of cake.
No.
Come on.
Past awardees and our steering committee members, please. And we have come a long way. Terry, this year you did not mispronounce any of the steering committee names. Yay!
It took 10 years.
And Terry, please join us. Where's Lena?
Oh, I don't know
Okay.
about that. Where's Lena? That's a good thing.
And after we do our photo op, the cake will be served in the exhibit room, so we do ask you to share a piece and come and look at, visit more of the exhibits.
You're never going to get everybody. I know. You're never going to get everybody in there.
I'll stand over here.
Yes.
Glad to see this cake. It's gorgeous. Hold it up. Can you tilt it?
Keep squeezing. Come on down in front. Come on. You want us down in front? Come on.
Well, that concludes our show for today. Remember, you're only as good as who knows how good you are. So get known, not only nationally, but internationally. And we hope to see you again this time next year at World Trade Week. For UBC Small Business, I'm your host, Amelia Moore, saying good night.